you.
It's a little bit of a warm day. You can join us over here underneath the shade if you like. We're gonna wait until all 7 of you are here, and then I'll go over an introduction as well as some safety rules today. Okay, let's make sure. Okay. So folks, my name is Jay. Welcome aboard the 1885 cargo ship called the Wavertree, all the way from a place across the ocean called Southampton, England. This moved from 1885 up until 1910, moving cargo all around the world. Did over 4,000 voyages before its retirement in 1910. If you look up, folks, there are 3 vertical masts on this ship. The horizontal beams going across, those are called the yards, and that is where we would hang the sails on this wind-powered vessel. So it did not rely on a diesel engine nor steam power in order to move, just use sails and wind. But we do have a diesel engine towards the front of the ship called the windlass, which is specifically just for raising and lowering the anchor. Now, to make sure that we are preserving this beautiful vessel, we have a couple of safety rules for you today. First and foremost, we're going to make sure that we're not running anywhere on board this beautiful ship. We're going to refrain from touching any of the tools on board. Though, if you'd like to interact with the ship, video and photography are encouraged. Post to Instagram, do what you do. We love to see those interactions. Lastly, and most importantly, we're only going to be visiting open areas of the ship. So if anything is roped off, or if you hear any construction noises, please do not go inside. Now, we have a special event going on from now till 4 p.m. So if you hear any singing, or if you feel, or if you see anybody... So much going on today. My apologies, folks. Whew, let me take a sip of this. Where did my water bottle go? It's over there. It's okay. But this is a cargo ship, as I mentioned. There's going to be areas for you to visit today on this beautiful ship. One of the first ones is going to be an area down these stairs called Tweens, which is where we hold all the cargo. You can head down there and see for you can prepare yourself. Head back up and go to the back of the ship. See our captain's saloon and end your day on the beautiful quarterdeck where the steering wheel is, with a beautiful view of the Brooklyn Bridge off to the side. If you have any further questions, feel free to let us know.
If you'd like, yeah.
device called the capstan.
You're on.
Okay, lift up very heavy weights and strains with little effort. You have things down here, finger-like projections called pawls. They fall into slots which prevent it from backing on itself. Meaning, as you wrap the line around, you can do, for instance, in this case, if we were pulled in here but still too far away from the dock, you would put a line forward and aft, affix that line to something permanent on the deck, and by pulling in and reeling in, putting the excess over in the away, move this entire vessel sideways. It was a process called warping to the pier. So my particular area of expertise is the work that was done during the 19th century with the songs that they were used for. Those are called shanties. And in a very strict sense of the 19th century sailor from the 1800s, oh, you're gonna get a chance. You just volunteered, baby.
You got it. I'm in.
To that sailor, the shanty was only something you did at work. Right? So, song will go like this. Oh, the smartest packet that you can find, and you will sing back. Hey, ho, are you most done? Try it. Hey, ho, are you most done? It's the old wild cat of the swallowtail line, and you sing. Hey, wait a minute. Missed it by this much. Clear away the track and let the bullgine run. Clear away the track and let the bullgine run. Try it. Clear away the track and let the bullgine run. Then we all, and that's okay, because if you're mumbling this, perfectly fine. It's our first voyage. I don't expect you to have this till a couple of weeks later when we've done this for 4 to 8 hours. Okay? Believe me, you will catch up. So, what you're going to do is, please, if you want to help out, get on a line, on a bar here, a bar there, bar there, bar there. Want to try?
Mija, come on.
I'm good. I'll watch. Here.
Okay.
You want to try it?
Hey, you want to try?
There you go.
Okay.
Let's get this boat moving.
So, very, very important couple of things. This is safety. You have to keep to the exact pace of the beat. Alright? If one of us starts speeding up and the others don't, somebody can get hurt.
I'm a dog drummer, so I know beats.
Okay, this one's going to expect to be steady. This one's going to expect to be steady. Okay. I was a percussion major.
We'll talk later.
We'll talk about it. Okay. So, the other thing is the term avast. When you hear that, stop what you are doing. It either means the job is done or there's a problem. So, avast means stop and keep exactly with it. And the rest of you are going to really help us out by singing along. Okay? You'll get it. It'll only go on for a couple hours, so you'll have plenty of time. Sorry, I should have mentioned that before we started. Ready? Heave away. Oh, the smallest packet. heaving. Thank you. Now, give him a big round of applause. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. So what would have happened here is we then would have done what is called heave and pull, which means moving it forward and allowing the mold. Did you hear those clicks? That now is going to prevent it and lock it, keep it from backing up, which means now it can hold all of that weight. This is actually going to be the end of this portion of the shanty demonstration. There will be another one at the top of the hour up at the forward part, so if you want to see that. I'm Chris. Any questions that you have, I'd be happy to entertain. Anything?
So this came with the boat? This was built with the boat from day one?
Absolutely. As was the one that's up forward. Hey, Rio, away, Rio, sing farewell, me pretty young girls, we're bound for the Rio Grande. Well, man, the good capstan and runner around away, away, Rio, we'll haul up the anchor to this jolly sound. We're bound for the Rio Grande, it's away, and it's away, Rio, away, Rio, sing farewell, my pretty young girls, we're bound for the Rio Grande. Welcome to the ship, Wavertree. What I just sang was a traditional song called a shanty. This is from the 19th century, the 1800s, and it is the music that would be done to coordinate and make easier the work. It happened earlier in the 19th century and absolutely is attributed to the West African tradition of singing work song, of that call and response. As best as we're putting it together now, what would happen is the cargo ships, like the Wavertree, about 60 years before the Wavertree was actually around, would be in the southern ports of Mobile, Alabama, New Orleans, Charleston, South Carolina, the West Indies, and the dock workers, who in many cases were both enslaved and free people of color, but out of the West African traditions, would be singing these songs. And they were picked up by a lot of the English sailors because when you're on a cargo vessel, this is a business. And you need to get by with as few people as you can. And what was discovered was that call and response got more work out of fewer people. So it was adopted, and they let the merchant seamen do that. Now you heard the term capstan. That is the capstan, the big green mushroom-shaped object up there. And there are bars that will be put into the top and the bottom, and you're walking around. Now, this particular one is being used to either hold heavy weights or raise the anchor. So that depends on which one you do, the top or the bottom. And I noticed some of you, in addition to singing, which by the way is exactly the way the crew would have figured it out, to just start singing along. Now, how did they learn the song so well, so quickly on the first voyage? Well, because raising an anchor on a vessel like the Wavertree can take 2 to 4 hours. So we're walking in a circle for 2 to 4 hours. Yep. And if you come right up here, you're going to see a thing called a windlass. And this is actually how the anchor comes up. Through a mechanism, you're going to notice that there are drum-like things, and you'll all have a chance to take a look at this. There are drum-like objects on either end, but it's sideways. And then if you look carefully right in there, you'll see the anchor chain is wrapping around and going through a hole in the deck. Now when you go below, you're going to look forward down here and find this big chain is sitting in the middle of the deck. What that's doing is that all of that anchor chain would go down to the lowest part to keep the weight low and farthest forward. That's where the anchor locker is. Right? So that is what that is demonstrating. This was put in way after the fact. The shanties that I'm singing, we're talking about 1830s, 1840s, 1850s is when they're really, really coming into vogue. Now I welcome you on to the ship Wavertree, to a 19th century sailor. The 19th century sailor would have understood immediately how this ship was rigged, where everything is, because I called it a ship. These masts, we have at least 3. They have names: the foremast, mainmast, mizzenmast. There can be more, but it's got to be 3, at least. From forward all the way aft, at the bottom of the boat is the spine of the boat. That's the lowest part. It's called the keel. Imagine that this finger is the keel. Now these things are called yards, and they hang, that's what that sails are going to be hanging from. But when they're set like this, if this is the keel, and this is the yard, they look like this, which is square. That's why they're called square sails. Because what she was thinking was, now wait a minute, I've seen those sails hanging from there, and those are trapezoids. They are not squares. I paid attention during geometry class, and she knew that, which is why I answered that question. Is that true? Yeah, I knew. So, some of them, you'll notice, are close together. If we look at the mainmast, notice how those yards are close together. The sails there are called the topsails, or top sails. And the upper yard is in fact movable. Right? So, I would sing, "Oh, whiskey is the life of man," and you would sing back, "Whiskey, Johnny," try it. "Whiskey, Johnny." That was not bad, all right? But I'd like you to think much more hungover, much more you just got on board, and there's somebody standing behind you ready to kick you to get you to do that with a little bit more zeal, okay? So, oh, whiskey is the life of man. Go! Whiskey, Johnny. Oh, whiskey is the life of man. Whiskey for my Johnny. Sing it. Whiskey for my Johnny. And that would keep going. This form is called a double pull halyard. And it's because we are hauling the yard up higher. That's why that line is called a halyard. And it is absolutely, this form can be identified all over West Africa. So there's that direct connection. So if we come over here, we have a fantastic and magnificent expense and great hours of extraordinary expertise. A model of what it would look like with the sails on that. Okay? So I need a somebody who's willing to demonstrate. I'll pull on the line. Are you sure? Positive? Absolutely? Okay, we'll get you later. Oh, okay. Now this is going to be 3,000 pounds worth of sail and yard. Okay. All right? So we're going to hold it together like this. You ready to sing?
We'll try.
Okay, I love it. Are you worried about the quality of your singing?
Yeah.
Well, then what you need to do is sing louder because it adds that air of authenticity. Okay. life a man. Whiskey, Johnny, I'll drink whiskey when I can. Whiskey for my Johnny, oh, whiskey up and whiskey down. Whiskey, Johnny. Avast! High enough! So we stopped. Even though he was thinking, hey, wait, I'm liking this. I want to hear more about the whiskey, where we're going to be drinking at. And I said, nope, the job is done. So we bring it over to the pin and we take that off. And we're ready to get to the clues, or sorry, the braces to move the yard this way and that in order to catch the wind. Right? But you notice as soon as they heard high enough, and that was cryptic maritime language to let the sailors know that the yard was high enough. And now you all know.